All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between. Well, this is going to be between 120 and Robinson. We have 120 spawning under the name Finally over here on the bottom right-hand side of Tide Hunters, going up against Robinson, who is spawning as the Red Night Elf. Night Elf versus Undead in this 1v1 matchup. First thing I will say is apparently there was a new version of WarCraft 3. This new version of WarCraft 3 currently doesn't work with the overlay. At least the replays still work. So no big concerns right there. Perhaps it was just some sort of patch update to fix something or other, and we'll get things going on a little bit later. For all you guys out there, thank you for continuing to support me during my YouTube transition. I'm hoping that everything gets settled away momentarily, and that I will have continued reason to try and work so hard or cast these games for you every day. It's difficult to call it work. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy watching these games. But at the same time, if I was going for pure entertain or pure studying of the games, and to keep up, I would just watch them in like 4 times speed, and then not keep track of everything that's happening, all of the scouting, all of the positioning, the early game. Those little head fakes, those head jukes. You don't really need to keep track of all too much. Now, as I said, the overlay isn't working, and the other thing I wanted to mention is well, time is short for me during this season of my life. Um, I am I am not preparing for a new job, but well, actually, should I even say this? No, I should not even say it. I'm working on coding puzzles. How's that? I'm working on coding puzzles with some friends, and well, anyone who's prepared for these coding puzzles understands and knows that well, it takes hours of time every day to try and get it going. All right, Robinson almost losing the Ancient of War here, down to 60 hit points, extremely low. Has to be careful. Now going to come back over and now go after this Sea Giant. Death Knight is very much close by, bringing that Rod of Necromancy over, and going to be going after these Giant Sea Trolls as well. I like the I like the different styles and strategies that are available on this map, allowing the Death Knight to clear out this 4-2 creep camp pretty much by himself, as long as he already has one skeletal minion charge. One skeletal minion is going to get taken down, giving level 2 to the Keeper of the Grove. That level 2 Keeper of the Grove also having Claws of Attack +5, which should give him plenty of opportunity to try and put pressure onto onto some of those other units. Skeletal Minion now trying to make its way through. Death Coil. Oh, there's a detonation. I believe it did. Well, actually, no, it did give a little bit of experience, I actually think, as the Death Knight now trying to go after this Moonwell here. Moonwell taking a little bit of damage may end up being canceled and then rebuild. That actually does cost quite a bit. And while Robinson is losing a lot of gold, even though a lot of damage is not being done. With that being said, though, 120 losing a lot of mining right now as a Scroll of Town Portal being forced here. We're going to see an entangle there, and now with only 4 workers on the gold mine, the Necropolis has to be canceled. Canceling its upgrade to get to tier 2, and now to train up that lost Alkalite. Otherwise, so much gold would be lost. All right, Death Coil, is it going to be finished in time? Yes, it does, just in time. That Ghoul just on Blight, giving him enough additional regeneration to stay alive right there. If that Ghoul was off of Blight, I believe the Keeper of the Grove would have been able to finish it off. Claws of Attack +5, plus the Keeper of the Grove's Entangle damage could have possibly been enough. All right, additional Acolytes being trained just in case, well, the Keeper of the Grove of Robinson comes back for more, as we're looking at the Death Knight now trying to, well, set up perhaps an expansion of his own. Wisp now being brought back over. Are we going to see a detonation? There you are, detonation across multiple units, as we are looking Death Quail saving up that Ghoul. Ghoul is now trying to go into a little bit of a fight here, and there it is. Once more, Blight being used. Death Knight unable to save that Ghoul here as a low hit point Archer. Oh, Archer getting into the way of the fight right there as the Keeper of the Grove still wandering around. Archers are trying to spread around every which way, but well, 120 doing a great job keeping his cool throughout this fight here, as we're looking at the expansion of 120 getting set up now. One Archer was, I guess he tried to shadow meld or she tried to shadow meld there, did not work out. Now, as things are getting underway, we do see Tree of Life and Expansion attempt in play. Keeper of the Grove easily going to finish off this ghoul here. I do not believe the ghoul actually has sight up onto the high ground to actually spot this Tree of Life, which is incredibly important. 25 over 40 supply. Tech to tier 2 is already done for Robinson as he's going into Ancient of Wonders, but he does not have any real tier 2 buildings. Hey, Harsh Pickle, how are you doing? Well, everything is as good as can be right now. Just a little bit tired. Trying to do additional work from after 9. Polishing up my skills as well in the professional workplace as the Death Knight now comes over. Death Knight does have enough mana for a Death Coil. Gonna go ahead and Death Coil right there. Shadow Meld on an Archer. Death Knight does not have Dust of Appearance as a second Archer is able to Shadow Meld there. Ghouls are continuing the fight once more. We are going to see, well, there is a denial there as Robinson unable to get that level and get to level 3. Level 3 incredibly important, and it looks like 120 finally going to get there sooner as we see who's going to get the final hit right there as the Death Knight, now 13 experience shy, and we'll get to level 3 off of this Murgle Tide Warrior. Level 3 Death Knight equals level 2 Death Coil, which also means, well, fuller hit point or full heals on those ghouls. Meanwhile, back at home, we are looking at, well, Tech to Tier 2 has not even started yet. We do have an expansion up and operational as the Death Knight goes around to clear up more creep camps. A quick Death Coil there finishes off a Wisp as the Keeper of the Grove and the Demon Hunter now looking to engage. All right, 1 and 2 combination, Death Knight, Demon Hunter, Mana Burn there already as the Demon Hunter going to get surrounded. All right, there's that damage already trying to break free. Is he going to be able to break free once more? And there goes another ghoul, level 3 now on the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove could be able to get off another Entangle here. Keeper of the Grove has plenty of mana. There's going to be an Entangle, and now just going after another. Robinson going to use this opportunity while 120 is, well, tech or getting additional economy, and, well, we should see another Entangle here. All right, Ghoul taking a large amount of damage, most likely just going to end up being denied once more. Who's going to get the final shot off? And it looks as though the Keeper of the Grove is denied that bit of experience. All right, beautiful play by the Keeper of the Grove. That follow-up Demon Hunter getting the Mana Burn on the Death Knight was absolutely critical in denying a Death Coil. Three quick kills later on those ghouls. The Demon Hunter already halfway to level 2, while 120 himself is still sitting at tier 1, only having large amounts of ghouls and now perhaps going to be transitioning into gargoyles. Keeper of the Grove now with Staff of Preservation to try and save those archers. Ancient of Lores. Are we going to perhaps see Hippogriffs as well? Thank you for the subscription. Every subscription definitely helps during this time right now as the Death Knight now looking to back away. Continuing to fight their way through. Let's take a look at across over here. There goes an Entangle onto the Death Knight. Thank you for the follow as well. I just Vital rated. Oh, thank you for the raid. I gotta remember that I have a free sub to give. Death Knight now continuing to get trapped into this corner off over here. Death Knight gonna get taken down, and 120 losing his Death Knight in this strange spot. Thank you for the follow. How have you not followed me before? I guess that is the question, as we're looking at the Archers, Keeper of the Grove, and Demon Hunter now making their way back down. All right, Staff of Preservation sending the units back home. Thank you for the sub. Is Bido part of now DK's dead too? Yes, Bido is one of the 2 American affiliates that is part of Back to WarCraft. Thank you for the follows. This has been a great morning as we're looking at 120 and a Robinson go at it. Finally, actually in a little bit of trouble. He has the additional economy right now, but he doesn't have the army. Tech to tier 3 now finally underway as the Lich is getting trained up, and we're going to see another Entangle go down on the Death Knight. Are we perhaps going to see a surround? And we are. Another surround in play. Death Knight now trying to break free, and it looks as though this one this one Treant could get taken down to 36 hit points, but the Death Knight going to fall for the second time in as many minutes as we're looking at the Snapper now going to get taken down here. Demon Hunter sitting at level 2, Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3, and what the problem is that he cannot resurrect at the tavern right now since it is blocked, and the Lich is currently getting trained up. That's going to further delay that Death Knight from the battle, as the Demon Hunter does pick up some Sentry Wards. Robinson is having everything go his way so far, but 120, well, is no slack in Warcraft 3. Can try and make up some of these some of these miscues or misplays in some way, shape, or form. We are looking at 48 supply going up against 38, a 10 supply advantage, as we see, well, a bunch of enraged reef elementals plus an ogre magi going to try and engage right here. All right, a little bit of water splash damage coming back across. Demon Hunter seeing that level 2. We do not see bears as of yet. Tree Retrinity already done. Druids of the Claw now making their way out. Rejuvenation gonna be in order, but because of that delay to tier 2 and eventual tier 3, destroyers are going to be significantly delayed, meaning that rejuvenation during battle is going to be a much more prominent possibility until the destroyers are out here on the battlefield. Obsidian statues. Well, Obsidian Statue number 1 already going to get trained up here. Obsidian Statue follow-up number 2 should be added, as well as the Lich clearing out the remainder of this creep camp, and the Death Knight, well, halfway to Resurrection. During this time, though, Keeper of the Grove is already at level 4. Demon Hunter is at level 3. Plenty of mana on those Druids of the Claw for rejuvenation, as the Demon Hunter takes a beating but keeps on ticking, so to speak, as we should be looking at some rejuvenation going down. Well, yeah, rejuvenation going down onto that Demon Hunter now. All right, transforming into bears. Beautiful. Where's the overlay? As Blizzard upgrade broke the overlay, I'm sure Pad is going to fix it temporarily or soon, as we see a Kagar's Pipe of Insight. Yeah, I don't think it didn't break the replay, but Pad out of caution probably wants to make sure that there's no issues with the overlay before allowing the overlay to work again. It's one of those cautionary measures, and it should be a pretty quick fix, especially since the replays are not affected at all negatively. All right, Keeper of the Grove with Orb of Venom, extra bonus damage over time. Demon Hunter doesn't have that just quite yet, as the Demon Hunter going after the remainder of this creep camp. No, you know what? If there was a legitimate fix, if there was a reason for it to be patched, then it's a legitimate fix. If it breaks outside tools, that's not something that I think we should hold Blizzard accountable. The replays still work. It's every time they release a new patch that doesn't have any replay or any balance changes and replays stop working, that gets annoying. Coming back through, Lich sitting at level 3, Death Knight sitting at level 3, Demon Hunter going to be coming in from behind here. Mana Burn possibility onto the Lich. Lich still has plenty of mana for Frost Nova. Hasn't really thrown down Frost Novas yet. What is going on here? The bears are in actually Druid form, making them prime targets for Death Coil and Frost Nova, since they don't have nearly as many hit points. All right, in comes the battle. Mana Burn going down onto the Death Knight again. Lich has plenty of mana. Could get another Frost Nova off, and does find it onto a bear, slowing down the Keeper of the Grove, or slowing down the Demon Hunter as well. Trailing archers getting cleaned up rather easily, as the overall supply 57 going up against 68. 120 taking the supply lead here, and, well, making up a big difference here. 2 level 4 heroes going up against a level 4 Demon Hunter and a level 4 Keeper of the Grove. All right, Hippogriffs getting trained up. Not nearly enough lumber for Robinson, sitting on 800 gold as well. Meanwhile, 120 sitting on 300 gold. So overall, we are still fairly even. The question is going to be whether or not the Demon Hunter can really shut down those other units. A bunch of Druids of the Claw still in Druid form. I like this for the fact that the Druids of the Claw in Druid form still are regenerating mana. But at the same time, when you are just scared of the boogeyman, who Death Knight, Death Coil, and the Lich's Frost Nova coming around a corner, instantly taking down a bear, that is something to be concerned about. All right, there is Roar across all of these buildings here. Necropolis absorbing quite a bit of damage. Meanwhile, what's going on here? Death Knight of 120 taking this opportunity to regroup, trying to find everything here. And while we may see the Necropolis is going to get taken down, it is going to get taken down, as the Scroll of Town Portal Mana Burns gets away. and trading a Scroll of Town Portal for a Scroll of Town Portal, but taking down some Ziggurats and taking down the Necropolis, as well as if the Necropolis is not rebuilt, it does not have a Scroll of Town Portal to target once more. Timing was absolutely beautiful right there. A good exchange by Robinson, as we're looking at Robinson sitting at 72 supply now, going up against, 70 supply, but 70 over 60 as he is upside down. But what is this? 120 does have a ninja expansion, hidden expansion over here on the bottom side of the map. Illusion still walking around doing a bit of scouting here. 7,000, 6,000 here, 9,000 here as well. 1,500. This base has been mining for 1 minute, and that could be the simple difference, all that you need. The problem with 120's army, though, is that it is significantly smaller than the supply would indicate. Will he be able to actually engage well? Those Crypt Fiends with that attack, Frost Armor now going down a couple of quick webs, stopping those Hippogriffs from trying to poke apart, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Demon Hunter are doing a bit of chasing. All right, Crypt Fiends joining in on the fight here. Are we going to see some engagement? There's some roar as the units are going to continue to engage once more. There's a Mana Burn onto the Death Knight, now trying to go after perhaps the Lich next, as we see a Staff of Preservation, I believe, saving a bear. Units are still turning back around. There goes another Mana Burn onto the Death Knight here. Lich should have plenty of mana for some Frost Novas, as we are looking at the Necropolis already down to 400 some odd hit points. Treants now going to make their way out, but they should be easily devoured here, as the Entangle now goes down onto the Death Knight. Death Knight does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, shouldn't be really in any danger whatsoever, as the Death Knight now trying to head back away. Demon Hunter sitting at level 4, continuing to put all that pressure. Staff of Preservation saving another bear. Keeper of the Grove making their way off to the north again, as the Lich now trying to make its way back out. Well, getting a good surround onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could be in trouble. Death Knight going to get taken down, as the Lich now finds himself by himself without the additional help. Crypt Fiends are now being forced to try to hide themselves in the sand, so to speak, as the army of the Night Elf is just walking over them. Finally, or 120 in a little bit of trouble. There is a reveal right there. Doesn't spot that Crypt Fiend all the way in the back, as we're looking at the units trying to engage once more. Low hit point bear, Staff of Preservation in time again, as the Dryads are going after some of those Destroyers. Destroyers able to head away once more. All right, continuing that engagement once more. Demon Hunter trying to go after these units, pushing really deep inside here. This is a rather strange spot, as the Druid of the Claw is very low on hit points, and we need to see some rejuvenations go down. Scroll of Town Portal, Staff of Preservation saved. Lich trying to put in a little bit more pressure, as everyone gets out just in time. All right, Poland versus China on decent ping. Flow is kind of cool, yep. All right, coming back through. Druid of the Claw, 3 bears, all with rejuvenation. Robinson doing a great job saving all of this here. 120 finally back up, and can train up more units. Death Knight resurrected at the tavern. That is rather an expensive proposition. Death Knight perhaps could have been started earlier at the Altar of Darkness, not needing the additional mana here, as the Death Knight needs more mana to get, well, some death coils off onto these units. Is he denying a destroyer? All right, 120 purposely taking down a low hit point destroyer, even though the Death Knight is at level 4, could have gotten in a good 400 hit point heal. All right, ready for the engagement here. Dryads, Bears, Rejuvenation, Acolytes now trying to position themselves away, as we are looking at unsummoning. This base not worth saving in the eyes, as 120 takes this opportunity to clear out a relatively difficult red creep camp instead. Base is going to get taken down. Acolytes getting destroyed here, as the bases, well, you still want to attack these buildings even though they are being unsummoned, as every pit of hit points translates into gold. Coming back through, the undead army now rotating off to the north here. Robinson trying to set up his own third base, as we're looking at, well, a really easy green creep camp. Really, 120, this is the time you're trying to take down a green creep camp, when seconds matter? I'm not quite sure I agree with that moment there. 5 seconds being used to take on a green creep camp is, well, 5 seconds wasted at this point and stage in the game, as we're looking at the Dryads, Bears, and Hippogriffs now making their way off from the north. All right. Oh, he's making a statue, doesn't want to pay taxes. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Moving back through, Lich does get to level 5. Demon Hunter sitting at level 4. Are we going to see a mana burn onto that Lich? We should be looking at a mana burn. No, onto the Obsidian, or onto the Lich right there, as there is that tactical retreat back. All right. However, the tactical retreat pack is going to actually expose the expansion. 120's expansion completely wide open, sitting at 80 over 80 supply compared to 80 over 80. A little bit more lumber here. Treants are now going to be joining in. Bears are over here. Hippogriffs, acolytes trying to make their way over. Destroyers, and this is a very narrow walkway to try and engage through from, as the destroyer easily comes in and gets in a couple of easy devours, replenishing his mana and making that destroyer that much scarier against those bears. Thank you for the follow. Mana burn onto the Death Knight. Anti-magic shell across all of these units here as the Demon Hunter makes its way forward. Anti-magic shell, so much anti-magic shell preventing easy targets of anything as the destroyers are now coming across here. Health bars, Bear is getting taken down. Death Coil, Bear down to 277 hit points. He does have a health stone. Is he going to get taken down here? Down to 165, using that health stone there and in order to stay alive. Illusion's getting taken down as well. Dryads trying to poke their way through. The Death Knight actually caught between a rock and a literal hard place as the Bear is just still holding that position, and Death Knight could be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal as the Crypt Fiends are getting taken down slowly but surely. Orb of Venom damage should be adding up. Death Knight gets up to level 5. Demon Hunter gets up to level 5 as well, as we're still looking at more damage coming through. Fairy Dragons with Mana Flare causing problems for those Obsidian statues in the back as the Death Knight is now down to about 17 hit points. There's another Mana Flare right there as the units are trying to get away. Keeper of the Grove still alive. One Bear here needs to go back into Druid form and perhaps get some rejuvenations off. We are still looking at 2 bases, 3 bases for a little while longer as this Necropolis is about to get taken down. There's a rejuvenation onto the Bear right there, and a tactical retreat is in order. Robinson does not want to stick around. Units now continuing to make its way back around once more. A Demon Hunter, Druid of the Claw. Druids have been replaced here. Keeper of the Grove now back at home, bringing in potions of healing, perhaps to give to the Demon Hunter. Robinson is in a great spot, but he's sitting in high upkeep right now. He can afford to do this, knowing that 120, he is not mining that much gold. He's trying to shut the door on this game. He has an advantage. Will he be able to do so, or will 120 fight effectively and trade efficiently? That is the question at hand. All right, fighting on Blight with 3-1 upgrades. Dryads do have a slight upgrade advantage as the Keeper of the Grove now going to try and engage here. All right, Demon Hunter going to try to rush on in. Mana burn straight up onto some of those units. Fairy Dragon already in play as well as the Fairy Dragon causing a bit of problems. Web not bringing down that Fairy Dragon with that 16 armor as another mana burn burst on through. Demon Hunter sitting at level 5, so much mana for days. And that Kagar's Pipe of Insight also giving mana to the Druids of the Claw, which is actually incredibly important. All right, Bear transforming in and out of Bear a little bit too often as we're still continuing this fight here. All right, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Lich. Lich still staying alive here. Keeper of the Grove doesn't have any easy way to try and use those abilities. Doesn't even have Thorns, or can't go for Thorns, or as Treants are just going to turn straight into food for those destroyers as the Chimera now eating up many of those Obsidian statues very, very easily. That magic damage so fast and effective. All right, units trying to retreat back away. Lich does get up to level 6, but is it going to matter as the Necropolis is going to get taken down and this expansion will a bunch of burrowed Crypt Fiends actually staying burrowed here. And, they no easy reveal. Lich is still right there. Crypt Fiends now coming back the other way. Demon Hunter perhaps going to try and get another mana burn off onto some of those units as we're going to see an engagement here. Demon Hunter entangle onto the Lich. Lich going to be in trouble. Lich going to fall at level 6, giving tranquility to the Keeper of the Grove. And that may be all she wrote right there. There's an easy reveal. Going to finish off another Keeper or another Crypt Fiend. And a beautiful game by Robinson, inking out ahead at the very end of the game. Robinson took an early advantage by delaying 120 and taking down a number of acolytes, delaying that tech to tier 2. After delaying that tech to tier 2, Robinson was able to push an advantage and really just rode that advantage into the mid and end game. Because Robinson had that advantage, he was able to make sure that 120 wasn't able to build up or snowball much of a lead. Oftentimes, undead players, if you are even with them in the mid game, or even if the undead player is slightly behind a mid game, they're able to push through towards the late middle game and then the end game with their very powerful spells, Death Coil, Frost Nova, their destroyers, devouring magic, and really the destroyer shutting down that Keeper of the Grove. Both Entangle and Treant's completely useless once the destroyers are in the air, and Robinson just made sure that he had plenty of time to use that Keeper of the Grove at level 4, level 5 by delaying that tech to tier 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something, and hope you guys stick around for more WarCraft 3.